Hey, we are back. We're turning right on Tusquittee Road off of Downing Creek Road. I got some information from some locals around here that this road actually turns to gravel and it goes all the way up to Lake Nantahala. So that's our little adventure for today. We're going to see if we can get lost up in there. And I was told that this road, after it's in dirt, wiggles around and goes into Tuni Gap Road, which I understand goes to the lake also, but it's a more civilized road. So that's what we're going to find out today. This has a Hayesville address here, but it's way past Hayesville. I believe Lake Nantahala is in Macon County. That's like one of the most western counties in North Carolina. It's supposed to be a beautiful lake. It's not very developed. Now here's the Tusquittee Airport on the right. I've never seen any signs for airport, but if you look on the map says Tusquittee Airport, Tusquittee, some planes in there. I really think it's a private strip, but I don't know. But there's a bunch of hangars, it's a grass strip. So that's a landmark. There's never very much traffic on this road because, like I said, it just comes to a dead end. And from what I hear, the dead end is pretty much four-wheel drive. So it's been pretty dry, so I don't anticipate a lot of slimy mud. You know, I'm not real big fan of slimy mud. That almost ranks up there with deep sand, but we don't have sand here in North Carolina. That was a California thing, or a Jersey Pine Barren thing. This is country out here. Now if you come out here, bring yourself drinks and whatever you want to eat, because there's no 7-Elevens. There's some la-di-da communities around here, but a lot of these homes are just old Appalachian homesteads. Nothing too fancy. That guy there's got a really nice big garden. Holy smokes. That's a big garden. Tuni Gap is up here on the left. I've never been on that road either, but there's House Beautiful there. Right here, I think, is Tuni Gap, and I think I've been told this is where it will come out. So we're going to make like a loop. So we'll see. I don't know. But if you look on Google Maps, Tuni Gap goes right up to the lake. It goes right there where the boat rentals are and yada yada yada. And if you follow this Tusquittee Road, it sort of stops. It doesn't show linking up to Tuni Gap, but a couple people told me it does. So there could very well be a discrepancy in Google Maps. And I don't even see these. I can't even find this road on the regular street map. You'd have to probably check a typo map, and I don't have typo maps for this area. Got some gated communities, but pretty much you won't. Once this pavement ends, I don't think you're going to see too much of anything. I've never really been up this far on Tusquittee before. Now you see, even the road here says dead end. But we'll see what goes on up here. This is pretty through here. Now, some of the people I know that live around here always say when like guys are out on their cruisers and Harleys or whatever, they'll come to where the asphalt starts and then they're like, oh, that's all for us. I'll tell you, I added decent foot pegs on this bike. If you have an XT225, you really owe it to yourself to get rid of those make-believe foot pegs that are stock, because they're way too small. But I got some from DMO Specialties, and they're a real easy bolt on, very easy, 5 minutes you can have both of them on, and fit and finish is very good. They're like 60 some dollars, $70 delivered to your house. A lot of these little bikes have terrible foot pegs. I don't know why the manufacturers don't put decent foot pegs on these bikes. I mean, every bike that I've had to upgrade foot pegs. CRFs, KLRs, DRs. Now here's somebody still living here. Beware of the dog. This would be good if you're on a four-wheeler. This is the kind of road this bike really excels on. You don't need a whole lot of high revs to get up these little hills, because you don't want to have the back tires start spinning out on you. But it has a little tractor factor going on, almost like the DRs. And I put one sprocket. I went down one sprocket on the front. I don't know how high up this goes, but this has been an all uphill ride since we've been on it. Coming down this, if we have to turn around, it's just a gravity ride. Just use some engine braking and let gravity take you down. You don't want to go too heavy on the throttle with these loose rocks, because you start spinning your back tire, you're going to lose traction. Definitely gaining altitude. My handlebars are a little low when I stand, but if I had to put risers on, my throttle cables are too short, and I didn't feel like lengthening the cables and all that rigmarole. I don't know if we're going to see any more houses or not. The bike I had before this one was a Suzuki DR350, and I liked the bike, but one of the main problems I was having with it was if I was going up a hill like this, sometimes the gearbox would just shift by itself, and it would just shift up. And that's about the last thing you want to happen. Say if you're in second gear, like I'm in second gear, it would shift up to third or fourth. So that makes you bog out and you lose your momentum, and it fucks up your hill climb. And that used to happen to me all the time. And people were like, dude, what are you doing? I said, it's my bike, man. And it wasn't, I left, like my one friend tried and it did it on him, and it's like, dude, you got to get this tranny fixed. It wouldn't do that on the street. Just like when you're on this rough stuff like here. Just taking a little breather here. So I never did find out why that bike did that. And I told the guy who bought it that it has an annoying habit sometimes to jump out of gear. But he was like, yeah, I'll deal with it. I said, okay. And he wasn't in any hurry to even go off-roading with it, so I don't see this mentioned anywhere online, so this will probably be one of the only videos you see of Tusquittee Road. I'm just taking it easy. I'm not, you know, trying to fly through here. Because when you're exploring by yourself like this, I would rather take it a little easy than do anything crazy. If I knew this road, you know, like the back of my hand, then it's easier to go, you know, faster and fly around here. But there's a lot of blind corners and, you know, I don't know what's going on. But just let some engine braking do the job. Nothing too crazy. You know, this is not like Flatlands Road or anything. I don't even bother going on Flatlands because I don't like to get beat up. And I mean, I know a lot of people like to do it, maybe to have bragging rights, saying, yeah, I made it up the Flatlands, no problem, blah, blah, blah. But that road is heavily used by Jeeps and vehicles, so sometimes it's all clogged up and it makes it even tougher. But if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I don't really do too much gnarly stuff. It's just not what I like to do. And my off-road skills are not where they really should be. But, you know, I'm an old fart, so I'm at least still out on the bike. So I'm not, at my age, I'm not trying to prove anything. I always try to, you know, get home in one piece. This is just a turnaround, but I'm sure the road goes this way. Yeah, my main agenda is to come home, you know, not in an ambulance and not have to go back with a trailer to get the bike. I don't know how deep this is. If I don't know, I always get off. I know people say, oh yeah, pussy. But I don't know, man, you know, and I think it's going to be fine. But I'm not in any hurry, so we're going to take a little look here and see what the situation is. Maybe get a drink and see how this I'm trying out my new Camelback. I've never really used the Camelback before, so I'm trying this one out. Oh yeah, this is no big deal. This is a nice little creek here. This is a nice little creek. But I've been with some people before that didn't look at their water, and they go in up to their seat. Well, I can't do that on my bike because I have an open air box. And I don't have to explain to you what an absolute nightmare it is if you drown your bike out. And we don't want to go there. So, okay, let's go through the water. Just like that. My wheels needed to be cleaned anyway, so now they're refreshed. Now possibly if you come here and after some heavy rains, if the waters are all up, some of these little creeks that go over these roads really have some current. And I've seen people wash their bike out, and it's a problem, man. You know, if you wash your bike out in a situation like this, first you got to walk all the way back. It's just a nightmare. It's just a problem. So, if I'm riding with people and they want to stop to check the water, that's perfectly okay. It's a very smart thing to do. I'm never, I never get down on people for, wanting to check the line of a road, or anything. Now there's some other, it looks like there's some other trails off of this. Now I do see some fresh car tracks, truck tracks, Jeep tracks, whatever. So I know there's been people back here, not that long ago. And some of these little trails that go off of this, I have no idea where they go. And, I like adventure, but this is doing good by me. Now if this doesn't stay, if I can't, without a reasonable doubt, figure out how this winds into Tuni Gap, I'll just come back. I mean, it's not a big deal. But more than one person told me, yeah, you keep on this, you'll find Tuni Gap. But you know how that is. People are always telling you one thing. But it's a pretty reliable source, so we'll see. Taking you people along for the ride. Get some slide action. But it's been dry, so there's not really any slide action going on here. And this road, for the most part, is full of rocks, so The dirt roads that are all just clay, those are the ones that get really greasy. And unless you have real chunky knobs, it's going to be a difficult day. You know, I know some people come back with like their stock dual sport tires that are pretty much like a, you know, they're more of a 50-50, or they don't make it in that greasy shit, or they're having a pretty effed up day. Oh, here I have some little civilization going on here. Now, if I see somebody back here, I would actually ask them, where's Tuni Gap? Now, this is a nice little homestead. This is a nice little cabin. This would not bother me living this far off. But I don't think you got power back here. Here's another little water thingy. But I could see right through it. I would not probably drink from that, but I would definitely stop and wet the bandana and, you know, but I'm not overheated today. And this, even though it's a rather warm day, you're pretty much under the canopy of the forest in here. So temperature-wise, I'm not complaining at all. This is, I see other washes on this road that are dry now, but could possibly be even more river crossings. But I don't go out riding in the rain, or if it's rained a lot and I know the conditions are really wet, I'll pass. I don't even like, you know, like I've said, you know, a lot of times before. When conditions are really wet, of course you don't have the dust, but if you don't have good tires, or, you know, if you have a gnarly stretch, if your road is gnarly, it's no fun. Another little cool the tires off. But yeah, when I cleaned this carburetor, I took the snorkel out to let some more air in, and I drilled 3 1-inch holes in the air box, and one of the holes sits down a little farther. So that is my reasoning when I say I don't really do anything above like a knee depth of water, because I do have an open air box, so I don't have to explain any further, I don't think. I mean, I've seen videos of people doing absolutely what I think is very poor judgment trying to cross a river. And to me, it's like I say, oh, there's a swamp down there. If this was Florida, that would be like a gator pit. If I get to a place where it's like I'm not comfortable doing the water, I'll just say, well, I'll meet you somewhere else. I'm turning around, you know. Because I don't want to have to dry a bike out on the road. I know what it takes to do that. You know, sometimes you gotta take the carb off, and you certainly don't want water getting down in your crankcase. I mean, it's a big mess. You got to drain all the oil out, sometimes a few times, to get the moisture out. And then if you put your bike up and don't run it, then you're asking for rust to set in your head, everything. It's just a problem. And that's why when I was out west, I used to see people, they take their dual sports on the beach, and that can be fun, but there again, you know, I'm not a big sand lover.